St. Lawrence County Industrial Development Agency Civic Development Corporation, call to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Staples,
I'm awake.
Mr. LaBeouf, Mr. Blevins,
Here.
Mr. Hall,
Here.
Mr. McMahon,
Here.
Mr. Morrow,
Here.
Mr. Reagan.
Here. We have a quorum. Public notice was sent on August 5th, 2022. We have no, we have public. We have a comment. Hearing none, we'll go right to
You can tell we don't get much
the
company.
minutes for July 6th. We have them in your packet.
So moved.
Mr. Hall wants to move.
Second.
We have a second. Mr. McMahon, any discussion concerning the minutes of July 6th? So, hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are now part of the permanent record. Financial report,
No financial report.
no report of committees. The staff report by Patrick Kelly has been refused.
It's down to business now.
It's out of business now. No old business. We do have new business. In front of you, you should have a resolution determining the proposed actions are type 2 actions for the purpose of the United States Environmental Quality Review Act or its secret. The issuance and the sale of issuance revenue bonds, University Series 2022, and the execution of related documents.
So moved.
It is on the floor. Of first and second.
This is the secret finding for the St. Lawrence University bond. You'll see at the very end, you are finding that this is a type 2 action under the New York state law and no further action is required.
And we have a legal opinion to such?
Yeah, this is, we work with the bond councils on these resolutions, but yeah, this is, the bond itself is a type 2, not, yes.
I hesitate to ask this, but I'm going anyways. How many types are there?
There's at least 2. Type one is where you would have a finding. Type 2 is where you don't.
Where you don't, okay. So,
And probably,
somebody has to ask.
there's 2, and maybe in the Adirondacks, there's 7 or 8 more.
Oh, the problem
I mean, 2.1.
We're very difficult up there.
Any further discussion of the resolution? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, the resolution is.
I thought you said there was no further action required. Never mind.
There's 2 resolutions. One is the seeker, then is the bond, and the second is the bond.
The second is where we
Which
will be now.
oftentimes are combined into one. This is 2 separate ones.
Okay.
So, but there is more action required now.
And that's what we're about, action.
Yes.
We discussed why staff didn't put it in, no, okay. Resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of the issuer's revenue bonds, St. Lawrence University, Series 2022, in a principal amount not to exceed 80,000 in the execution of the related documents.
80 million, shouldn't
What?
That's not
it?
good. Yeah,
Should be 80 million.
I thought that was a light bond, but
it
you
says
know,
80,000 in the title here.
Yeah, the bond in the resolution, it says 80 million.
Okay, that is so noted in your packet.
So moved.
Wow.
Second.
I've provided for everybody, you should have a handout that says civic facility bond financing, IDA 22 SLU bond project. This one, typically, these are pretty sleepy affairs when you issue bonds on behalf of a college or a hospital. This one got more attention than normal. I think due to there was a letter to the editor in North Country Now, and then there was some discussion at the Board of Legislators meeting where we presented. The Board of Legislators has to approve these bond issues as well for IRS purposes. This is a 501c3 tax exempt bond. The bond project is twofold. Half of it is a refinancing of a bond from 2012. The rest of it, as you'll see, is this is in the resolution, but it is primarily rehabilitation, renovation, and improvement of existing administrative, academic, athletic, student housing, and other facilities, primarily infrastructure on the SLU campus.
I think it's called air conditioning.
things like that. Um, As I stress to the Board of Legislators, every time we do one of these bonds, I'll reiterate for you, we are not extending credit. We are not lending them the money. We are not guaranteeing the funding. Neither is the county, neither are the people of the state of New York. We are conveying our tax exempt status on the debt itself. So the interest that is paid is not subject to taxation. That allows the bondholder, the bond buyer, to charge St. Lawrence a lower cost, a lower interest rate. And therefore, we are assisting them as they are competing with the other 4,000 or so colleges and universities across the country. SLU has approximately 750 full-time equivalent employees, 2,300 students, over 55% of which are from out of state. According to the Commission on Independent Colleges and Universities, their total economic impact is approximately $300 million a year. This includes $25 million in student and visitor spending impact, most of which is obviously locally and in the county. Education is listed as a key industry sector within our comprehensive economic development strategy. One of our objectives within the SEDS is to support primary industries, as described as follows in the SEDS: support primary industries, i.e. enterprises that sell significant percentages of their products and services to customers largely located outside the county. This may include government and non-for-profit enterprises, such as the universities and state correctional institutions, whose revenues largely come from out-of-county sources. In the back of your little packet here, there is a listing of the other but a representation of other civic facility projects we've done around the county, including projects at Clarkson, at SUNY Potsdam, St. Lawrence University, Canton Potsdam Hospital, the hospital in Governor, as well as the Claxton Hepburn. This is, like I said, normally these are pretty quiet, but just in case anybody had any questions about any articles you've seen or discussions you've heard, then hopefully when we presented at the Board of Legislators, it set the record straight on some of the misperceptions about what exactly, you saw lots of comments. North Country Now did a survey, that we shouldn't be lending them this money. It's too risky. And again, this is not start lending. It's a giving. Yes, we should be giving them the money. I don't want to talk this to death, but if there's any questions, I'll entertain them.
We're not lending them the money. Someone else is lending them the money. And we've been doing this for 40 years. Between Clarkson, Potsdam, St. Lawrence, and SUNY Canton, let alone the other hospital entities.
It's a great thing. Yes, Mr. Reagan.
Yeah, and I think it's important to stress a couple of points. One is that 40 million of this is going to go to repairs of the buildings at St. Lawrence University. St. Lawrence University has a large number of historic structures which look really quaint and help make the campus look like a beautiful place to come. But anyone who's involved in trying to maintain and make use of historic buildings is aware that the other side of the coin is it requires a great deal of money in terms of making them useful, and that creates jobs for people across St. Lawrence County who are painting those the interiors of those buildings, doing the electrical work, doing the plumbing, doing the contracting work. That when we talk about this, $40 million, we're talking about jobs. We're talking about putting people from all walks of life in St. Lawrence County, whether it's the guy who's going to do the electrical work to make the computers run, or the woman who's going to network the system in the dormitory. It is real jobs for real people, and that's what the IDA's purpose is is to try to invigorate the county's economy and put people to work and keep people working. And, you know, I think St. Lawrence University deserves a great deal of credit for at this time going out and getting $80 million in financing in order to make a huge investment in the future of St. Lawrence County and Kent. You know, you know, a lot of people have been confused about what is happening and whether or not they could have gone to their endowment. No, they can't go to their endowment. Their endowment, you know, the people who donate to the university set rules on what the money can be used for. And this, all we're doing is making it possible for the university to borrow money from Wall Street and offer a more competitive interest rate. And, you know, so.
And there are, excuse me for interrupting, Jim,
No,
between the 4 colleges and the hospitals, there are thousands, not just 700 at St. Lawrence, thousands of jobs involved in this with the lending that we've done to these institutions or for these institutions. And we're just a conduit. We don't specifically lend them the money. We're a flow-through entity.
right. And all we're doing is helping them get a lower interest rate. So,
Correct.
You know, I think I'm grateful to St. Lawrence University for making this huge investment in our county and for what they're going to be doing in terms of investing in the people of St. Lawrence County and in small businesses of all sizes who are going to benefit from this huge investment in our future. So thank you.
Any further discussion?
One question, what did the vote end up at the county legislature?
14-1.
Now you were in 14, I'm guessing. Passed in Spanish, right?
Yes, I was.
Anything further? Call the resolution to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion is carried. Resolution is carried. And it's for 80 million.
Up to, I think.
Up to.
40 million is refinancing and 40 million is for new.
It appears as though they're zeroing in on a figure of about 72, but
Excellent. That was not, no executive session needed.
correct.
We do have one last thing we need.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to pay attention.